Oh, welcome. Musical Pit. Today I'm going to talk to you about a musical theatre. Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name's Nene and today we are talking all things musical theatre audition. By the way, if you're wondering why I'm dressed like this, it's because it's quarantine and I've not been out in ages and my hair is an absolute mess. Let's get into it. So this is on the proviso that you've already submitted your applications and you've done all of that. Make sure that you do double check as to what you have to bring and prepare. But for me specifically, I had to bring 2 songs, one legit and one contemporary, 2 monologues, one classical from Shakespeare's time or one contemporary, post 91, and obviously plenty of stuff for your dance audition. So the day started at around 9 o'clock. I came into the beautiful building in Peckham, and it's so funny because Peckham has a reputation if you're from London, but the building is absolute divine. It's gorgeous, it's so beautiful, and to be fair, Peckham is up and coming. I've lived in London for the past 10 years, and the change is drastic already. Arrived in the school, I had to sign in. They had a little card with a number and my name on it. In fact, I think I still have it, which, whoops. There you go, found it. I was number 133 and I had my full name, Nathaniel Gopomobile, because I'm going to put Bacco. So yeah, they give you one of these to wear and you have to put it on your clothes. You then get escorted to a big studio and there was, oh my god, there must have been about 120 people. It was full. So we waited until everybody sort of got in. And as that was happening, some of the student helpers, they were like, oh my god, let's play a game, which was really fun. But we played Zip Zap Boing. And I mean, Zip Zap Boing is confusing enough. I love Zip Zap Boing and I'm kind of good at it. But if you've ever played it with 50 strangers, because obviously we were divided into 2 big groups and my group there would have been just about 50 people. Playing Zip Zap Boing with 50 strangers is playing Zip Zap Boing with 50 strangers is like a 6 foot tall black man wearing 6 inches heels. You're welcome. Then the head of Mountview came into the room, who I met before, I'll tell you that another time, and he started talking, giving us a little speech. He was really encouraging. He was like, guys, we want to see potential, don't worry about anything, relax, we want to see the best of you, we want all of you to succeed, so have fun, all of that, blah 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 blah. We then obviously got escorted into loads of little groups. I cannot remember which group I was in. And then they also ask you whether you want to be in a lower or in an advanced group in terms of the dancing. And so they get you to split, and then within that, there still splits all the group. So I was going to go into the lower group, and then they said, don't go in the lower group in the hopes that we'll think you're amazing and get you in. That's not how it works. If you think you can handle it, go in the higher group. If not, go in the lower group. So I was like, okay, I'll move. So I moved over to the higher group. Then we got divided further. And as always, they decided to do a carousel motion. So whilst, for example, Group A was in singing, Group B will be acting, and Group C will be dancing, and so on. So my first thing was dance. So I was already pretty much changed. I already had my dance belt, my foot thongs under my socks, under my trainers. I was ready because obviously I didn't know what was going to happen first. But they allowed us about 15 minutes to go and get changed, and then escorted us to a studio where we'd start dancing. So the dance audition, there were 3 panelists. One of them is Aaron Francis, who's the head of dance. And then there was another woman who I can't remember her name. I'll put it here, but she's absolutely amazing. She's also a pineapple teacher and I just love her. And yet another woman who didn't introduce herself. She was just like, hi, and just wrote loads of stuff down. The person who held the audition, who actually taught everything, was Aaron Francis, the head of dance. We did your usual warm-up, so that was fun, getting a bit of cardio. In fact, I was so tired. Yeah, he does this thing that's kind of hardcore, and he's the next Laney. He's the next Laney. I mean, like, body like wow. He's like 6'4". He's like super serious, super sweet. He's flexible as hell. Oh my god. But anyway, did the warm-up. Then we did lots of technical jazz, so a mix between mathematics and Horton. We just repeated exercises on each side, and that would have taken about half an hour. And as that was happening, another woman from the panel was walking around and correcting us. They did say multiple times, don't worry if you've never danced before, that's absolutely fine. Just make sure that when we come around, do listen to us and correct everything and make sure that we don't ever have to say anything twice. That's what we're looking for in potential. Put a gazing smile, don't go or any of that. They did say that to us at the beginning, and obviously just have fun. So you had the head of dance at the front of the room showing all the moves. You had that teacher roaming around, and then you had another panelist at the table writing things down and looking at everyone. And we were rotating lines as well. Then we actually did 2 choreos. We did one that was very acting based, so they just really wanted to see characters. And then we did a very simple, chill choreo. Would have been just under a minute, but it was very repetitive and very easy to learn. So that was good. We did both dances a few times, and every single time they were like, think of a character, think of a different character. What just happened before? What is going to happen just afterwards? Who are you dancing to? What are you doing? They really, really wanted to see that acting coming through as opposed to the dancing. Like every single school always says, it's not about your alignment, it's not about your flexibility or your strength, because we can teach you that. We have 3 years, and I just want to see your potential, because acting and imagination is not something that's easily taught. As opposed to lines and technique, that's just lots of repetition and basic movements. So that was really nice, encouraging for everyone. You could see, like, as soon as they said that, everyone was like, oh, yeah. Then they asked all of us to perform it. It was in 4s. They put you in like specific, it's an order number, and they put you in specific positions. You do that once. Then they made us talk amongst ourselves. The panel chatted for a bit. Then they got us to do that again, but swapping lines, and then everyone got to do that once, and that was the end of the dance call. I had singing next, so again, they allowed us about 15 minutes to get changed, 10-15 minutes. So quickly got changed, got my rep folder ready, and went in the room, and that was really quick, actually. We all sat in one big line. The panel was just in front of us, and the pianist also, so you had everyone behind you in the room watching, and you had the panel just in front of you, so you can actually see all the students, but everyone was behind you, everyone was in the room, which is scary. It sounds scary, but actually it's fine, because everyone's like, oh my god, yeah, and all that. We're not allowed to clap, but everyone's like really encouraging and like smiling at you, so it's like we're all in this together, we're all, so it's really cool, super cool ambiance. Singing. So you get in the middle of the room. The panelists ask a few questions. They ask, have you got any musical training? Do you know how to read music? And what are you going to sing for us today? Then you go on the piano. You explain everything, and you say both of your songs. And they usually choose one. Usually the legit, and then sometimes they'll ask a bit of the other one. I got to sing my full legit and a teeny bit of my contemporary, and I asked, because I knew they'd do that, I'd ask if I could start from the middle, which is where I can show off my voice properly, because the beginning is more acting, and they'd just seen my acting with my legit. So I was like, can I please go from there? I was like, absolutely. And then he caught me anyway, so he was like, thank you, that's fine. Went back, and that was the singing call, so that was awesome. Then we had another 10-15 minute break to get changed, ready for the acting. Now the acting. So the acting was actually very similar to the singing audition. The only difference is that our group all came and sat down, but right in the middle you had the one of the acting teachers, so everybody could see you. So it was reversed. And very similar, you go into the middle of the room, they ask you about your parkour very quickly, what you've done. Again, they chose my Shakespeare, and then they asked to see a little bit of my contemporary. Actually, I got to do quite a bit of it. I got to do about half. And that's it, really. They redirected a few people. They asked a few people to see both of their monologues. They asked a few people to only see one. So that was really chill. Everyone got a bit of a different audition, as it were. But all in all, it was very simple, very easy, very fun. What I really liked about the Mountview audition there is that the person who did it was so engaged. Most of them, and understandably so, was, they were writing down, and they say that to you, don't look at me, because I'll be writing down, or I'll be thinking of something, or I may look at you and look frazzled, and I may look at you like this, but it's like, I'm probably thinking, wow, that's amazing, not what the hell are you doing? So they were like, don't look at me. But that specific acting panelist, she was so engaged and looking, and then obviously after each monologue, she took like 30 seconds to a minute to write things down. So there was a bit of silence. And again, no clapping. They did say that at the beginning. So those were the 3 auditions. And then we got escorted to one big, massive room. And some of the student helpers just did a massive Q&A, which took about 45 minutes to an hour. And the reason why is because, and I love this, even though it's absolutely long, I love this. Mountview auditions every single discipline before they make a decision on recall. So they see your dancing, they see your acting, and they see your singing before they make a decision. Obviously that takes a while, because after we've all done our audition, they've all got to gather around, make their decision, and go one by one through every single person and make their case on different people. And I assume sometimes they'll be like,
oh, I want Jeremy. Oh, but Jeremy was terrible in the acting. Yeah, but he was amazing in the dancing and his acting was strong there, so maybe he was scared, blah, blah, blah.
so well done, Jeremy. So I'm guessing there was a bit of that. So obviously because of that, the whole thing took about 45 to an hour. But as I said, they did a Q&A and we got to ask everything and anything. It was actually bands. Everyone had a different question. And they were really engaged. They really wanted to answer everything. And they were really upfront as well, you know, especially with things like data and funding and money, which can be a bit of a taboo subject. They were like, no, that's what's gone. That's what's going on. And yeah. And something that was also repeatedly said to us is that Mountview has never turned down somebody because of tuition. They've always found a way. They've always done something, which I thought was superb and amazing. After about an hour of deliberation, the panel came back in and they were like, we're so sorry to do this, but it's the most efficient way. And they apologized a million times. They were like, we're not about this, but it's just there's so many of you, so I have to call you by your numbers. And they did that, and that was absolutely fine. I wasn't offended, you know, because I understand. There's literally 120 people. You're not going to all call them by name. And especially, you know, Jeremy. Which one? And they literally went number 8, 7, 39 into one group. And they divided it into a few groups. So you had one group, and those were straight out no's. You had the second group, who were re-auditioned for the acting. You had another group which was, we'd consider you for the foundation. We had another group that was, do consider the actor muso course, because the Mountview has an actor muso course. And the final group, which I was in, was the recall. And there were literally 8 people in my room out of the 120 plus people, which was insane. But they have loads and loads of auditions. And that was pretty much it. Obviously, I was super, super happy. I honestly think that was one of my best audition, because I was just coming out of a foundation course and I was just so prepared. Literally everything that I've ever learned in that entire year, I applied in that very audition. So I was super chill. I was even, they were like, they said, some of the panel commented on me because I was so comfortable and so relaxed and I knew what I was doing. I was joking with people and the panel noticed that and they were like, oh, that's really cool. You seem really relaxed and chill. And I was like, yeah, I've done a foundation course, so I'm really chill. And that was my audition. I will do a part 2 for the recall. If you've got any questions about this specific one, do comment, do like. As I said, I'll do a part 2, so I'll answer more questions in that video. Make sure you watch it. Make sure you tune in. Thanks ever so much for watching, and I'll see you very, very, very soon. Mwah! Meow. There you go, found it.